Why first impressions form so fast. First impression bias. You meet someone for the first time. Within seconds, before they've even finished their sentence, you've already decided if you like them, if you trust them, maybe even if they're smart or successful. It feels instant, almost automatic. And it is. Today we're breaking down the psychology of first impressions, how fast they actually form, why your brain is wired to do this, and a real study that will change how you think about every first meeting you have from now on. Let's start with the number that shocks most people. Psychologist Nalini Ambady and her colleague Robert Rosenthal at Harvard ran a landmark study in the 1990s that's still cited constantly today. They showed participants silent video clips of teachers, just a few seconds long, sometimes as short as 2 seconds, with no sound at all. Participants rated the teachers on qualities like competence and warmth based purely on body language. Here's the part that made this study famous. Those snap judgments from a few silent seconds closely matched the ratings that same teacher received from actual students after an entire semester of classes. A few seconds of silent video predicted months of real experience. This effect even got a nickname in psychology research: thin slicing, the brain's ability to find meaningful patterns from very limited information, very quickly. So why does your brain do this? It comes down to evolution. For most of human history, deciding quickly whether a stranger was safe or dangerous wasn't a personality quirk, it was survival. Our ancestors who paused too long to fully analyze a stranger before reacting were at a disadvantage compared to those who could size someone up in a glance and respond fast. That fast, automatic judgment system is still running in your brain today, even though the stakes of meeting a new coworker or a first date are completely different from meeting a stranger on the savannah. This is also connected to something psychologists call the halo effect. Once your brain forms an initial positive impression of someone, say, they seem confident and well-dressed, it starts assuming other positive qualities too, like intelligence or trustworthiness, even without evidence. The reverse happens too. One negative first impression, like a limp handshake or an awkward laugh, can unfairly color everything else you notice about that person afterward. Here's a real-world case that shows how powerful this is. In hiring research, studies have found that interviewers frequently make a hire or no hire judgment within the first few minutes of an interview, and then spend the rest of the interview unconsciously looking for evidence that confirms that early judgment, a pattern known as confirmation bias. This means a candidate's fate in an interview can sometimes be functionally decided before their qualifications are even fully discussed, based almost entirely on tone of voice, posture, and initial rapport. This isn't just about being judged. It's happening in the other direction too, every time you meet someone. Which raises an important question. If impressions form this fast and this powerfully, can you actually control them? To some degree, yes. Research on nonverbal communication shows that a few specific signals disproportionately shape those first few seconds: eye contact, posture, tone of voice, and a genuine smile. These aren't about faking a personality. They're about removing static so your actual personality can come through in that narrow window your brain gives you. It's also worth knowing this cuts both ways. Because first impressions form so fast and so powerfully, they can also be wrong, and unfairly so. Recognizing this bias in yourself is just as important as managing how others see you. The next time you catch yourself instantly disliking or distrusting someone you've just met, it's worth pausing and asking whether that's really about them, or just your brain doing what it evolved to do: judging fast, with very little information. First impressions aren't a soft skill or a nice-to-have. They're a measurable, well-documented psychological phenomenon that shapes relationships, hiring decisions, and first dates in ways most people never notice. If this changed how you'll think about your next introduction, subscribe, because I break down psychology like this every week. And let me know in the comments, has a first impression about you ever turned out to be completely wrong?